Yeah, it took, you had 60 seconds to come back. Usually some group come back early, but this time everybody used up 60 seconds. That means your conversation was very energetic, active. Okay. So how was your conversation? Again, I want to ask a few people to share some of the ideas which emerged from your conversation.
I suggest that someone who didn't talk last time will take this opportunity.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
Just now we talked about without if the boundary would be breached, we can sleep better or our work could be easy. This is the first part of our conversation. But after a minute's discussion, we think the boundary also have some effect or the good sides. So at the end of our discussion, we prefer to have boundary because it's a system we are used to. That without the boundary, I think it's more difficult for us to deal with. Yeah. So what will happen? I think our conclusion is at first several days we will be happy, and maybe later we will be confused.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe
that's true.
some of our group members can make some comments.
Me. I think that's what Lily, well, we talked about what Lily has just said. And in the end, we thought that there is always pro and cons regarding boundaries. Maybe what we want is not delete the boundaries. We want to have a right to control the boundary level.
Oh,
that's what we've kind of found. And we also talked about psychological boundary. Lauren mentioned very interesting things. Can you say something, Lauren? That's romantic.
Everything has two sides, right? If psychological boundary is breached, then things become very easy. We know what each other think. Then life become very boring, not romantic. Like whether does he like, before you may think, oh, he might like me, he doesn't like me, but now you know. So things becomes very straightforward. Yeah, not as interesting. Yeah. Yep.
Marisa, would you like to add something? Marisan, would you like to add something?
There are still boundary after breached. So it is different before boundary and breach, before and after breached. Facilitator skills change. Japanese facilitator making effort to speak out, make people speak out, but after breaching boundary, we need to have more skillful facilitation skills. More skills. Yeah.
Yeah, I think even in Japan, some boundaries are spanned because of new technologies. Like Latino just explained that she attended. She is now participating this virtual cafe from Nagoya. Actually, he lives in Okinawa, so he sort of control. The geographical boundaries are no more relevant to Latino. Is that right?
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. And I was amazed that Hector is not here. He left, right? Hector is Mexican and he's living in Dominican Republic and participating in this session. And Sharon is from South Australia, which is really far, I think. Yeah.
Sharon, you have some idea? Some comment?
We had a really interesting. Oh, sorry. Did you mean me? Sorry. And in case I was speaking over somebody, I apologise. We had a really interesting conversation around, or Tadashi introduced the concept of chaos. So to bridge all would perhaps create chaos. However, we need, and I think it was Lynn was sharing around how we need resilience through change. And as a consequence of that, it brings, if we can draw on our courage, it can bring awareness and enlightenment and a community that can grow together and share and connect. So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, good. Yoshiko, do you have any comment or something? This time you joined the conversation.
I want to know, I wonder if there's any group where some example, the concrete example of boundary was talked about. We just mentioned geographical distance. Yes, distance can be boundary. But have you thought of in any group of the example of boundary? Because there are a variety of boundaries, variety of way to perceive boundaries. Is it wall or is it a gap or is it something else? And the way to overcome, the way to live with it could be different. And to know that, I'm just curious to know if anyone proposed and explained the boundary as a real example.
Yes, I'm Lynn. So,
Yes.
so I think just now we talked about boundary is not just physical, it can be the invisible part whereby it is our own internal boundaries that we have for ourselves based on our values, our experiences, our perspectives of life. Yeah, so it's sometimes internal boundaries is also something that is could be often stopping us from moving forward. And as we said earlier, we are our own worst critic. So oftentimes it's like how then do we overcome our own internal boundaries? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and
Narumi-san, you have comment?
Well, actually, so as the Rin mentioned, there are many boundaries inside, but also the Ake-san told us that one example, which the Ake-san breached the one boundaries. Well, maybe sometimes there is an education system each country, and then actually we have a lot of the difficulties to educate children, and then while only that education system people are discussing how to solve the problem, actually they cannot find the creative solution. But if they work with the business world person, maybe they can find another way and something, the creative solution. So I think that this is very important to solve these kind of social problem. Sometimes we have to collaborate. The business person and the government and the community person together. This is really the boundaries would be breached. And also I think the role of facilitator is really to breach the boundaries.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think there are many other things that you want to talk, but time is pressing. So let's go to the third round of conversation. This time, the question for the third round is, let me see, what was that?
Right, so it's me to introduce the question for the third round of the discussion. The question you are going to attack is, how can we breach over those boundaries? How? The question is how. How can we breach over those boundaries?
Okay. Is it clear? How can we breach those boundaries?
Yes. Now we are going to attack the solution.
Okay. So this is the final round. Again, 15 minutes. Enjoy your conversation. Okay? Yeah. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.
See you.
See you.
Have fun.
You too.
Thank you.